Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Team Down TV's coverage of Season 10 of the Cybergamer Australia CGI CoD4 Grand Final. I got it all out in one go. My name is Uber, and I'm joined here by Cyanide for what proves to be a huge match. CoD4 has been truly an esports dynasty, especially in terms of what Cybergamer has been doing on their ladders. It's 10 seasons already. What an amazing time it is as well, and something to be celebrated. Not only that, an amazing game to follow.
Let me turn my mic up. That's much better. Yeah, that's right, Mitch. That is 10 seasons.
On here, but apparently I don't.
You certainly do. I forgot to press my button. I warned you about that too. Yeah, this is Season 10 of CGI. We've come to the conclusion of, but it is Season 11 all up here for Call of Duty. And what a cracker to come away with here with eXile5 and the Shovelmen. Previously, Avant-Garde, Uber.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So both of these teams, big household names in esports in their own right, and the players as well, of course, are guys that we have been seeing for a long, long time. I myself was probably around just when video casting Call of Duty 4 had just started, and a lot of these guys were going out at hammer and tongs even back at that time, especially the guys out of eXile5. Something to note as well, Wildflower, or who's Mizu, if you follow the forums, you know exactly who he is. That's a real dark horse coming out of essentially nowhere, really. I think Trident CGi was one of his last teams, and he sort of made his way up, and he's a very talented player. If you watch him, you'll see. I think fairly experienced in terms of Counter-Strike as well, and he's come through. Just Kid of old Team Immunity fame has come back through as well. We're going to see Nick, again, Team Immunity back in the day. Now, of course, they're all X5. Fantasy and Old Mate Quotes as well. So no Spatula by the looks of things tonight. No Samson, but I'm sure XL5, I mean, they do attract some of the biggest names of Call of Duty 4, and they're looking very, very strong. On the other side of things, XL Avant-Garde, Team Shovelmen, or TSM as we may refer to them a little bit simpler. Well, for the most part, we've seen them as well. Guys like Nev, guys like Svante, who was probably Texi, if you remember him back in the day, back in Team Provoke. That's going back quite a long way. Inject as well. A lot of these guys. Honey Badger, probably not around for as long as some of these XL5 guys, but they've definitely proven themselves to get here, especially toppling the guys from Elevate in the game to get here, Steve. So two big teams and a big best of three. It's going to be huge.
It is, and Samson not playing tonight. He joined us for the semi-finals, Uber, and he pulled out some really big moves. So a bit of a loss there for eXile5 tonight, but I'm sure Wildflower, as you said, he'll fill in those spaces quite nicely. And the Shovelmen did put on a good fight against Team Elevate. They went down to all three games. It was Elevate came out. Elevate lost map 1, I believe, which may have been on Crash, and then came back very strong on map 2. And then, even though they looked really strong on map 3, the Shovelmen did end up getting it just. So that was a close best of 3. I don't think we did see any overtime, but that was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So that was a long time. For us anyway, for commentators, it's a long time. But super keen to see what's happening tonight between these two teams. And I'm just having a quick look here. We are nearly ready, so I'm just going to take us back to that in-game, and we can see what's going on. And I'll get us some in-game sounds as well coming up, ladies and gentlemen. So sit back, enjoy the ride.
That's right. So XL5 going up against Team Shovelmen. Of course, XL5, Just Kid, Mizu, Nick, Fantasy, and Quirts. And on the Shovel side, we got Finn, Trouble, Steve, Blaze, and Badge, or the Honey Badger, as he is often affectionately known. We're pretty much ready to wrap here, guys. It is a best of 3. We're going to knife for map on this crash, on strike, should I say, going straight down mid street, and it's always a fun one to see. And we might see a veto in there as well. You guys are following. You probably know it as well as I do, just how this one is going to go down. But also massive shout out to Supra as well for joining us, my man. Train Insane or remain the same. Good on you. Thank you for joining us. And all you guys as well, don't hesitate to get involved in the stream chat. We've got some fun stuff going on as well with our tokens. You can bet. Currently, I think our voting is 65-35 in the way of eXile5. So that is where people's tokens are being put right now, Steve. So we'll have to see if that shifts over the course of this best of 3. But, to take a moment here to reflect as well over what we have seen from Call of Duty 4 over these 11 seasons now, this being Season 10. So many amazing things. We've got numerous SGLs, numerous respawn lands, NVIDIA lands, and we had a Mind Freak land in there as well. Even some thermal, some stuff through SIF and TT. So very many, obviously, events that were being run and chances for the community to catch up, and it's been really, really good. And you know, I was actually posting on Facebook saying this might actually be sort of the last kind of final that we were going to be seeing, but that's actually not the case. I think Quirts just hit me up before and said, no, we're going to keep doing stuff for it. Just quietly on that one as well. The eXile5 Sunday School one-day comp is coming up on the 20th of July with a $500 first prize. So pretty decent, really. Pull up some money there in terms of Call of Duty. So it's going to be a lot of fun as well. It's going to be a 16-team round-robin comp. Get in touch with Nick or Quirts. So Nick's Xfire is HIB 123, and Quirts is QWERTY1236. I'll repeat that later on. But yeah, hit them up if you haven't already. You should, if you're on Cyber Gamer Forums, you should be able to see that thread and get involved. So yeah, and also potentially CG Leagues or an M-Wave sponsored ladder, or both maybe as well coming up. So this is not the end for CoD4, and that's pretty awesome considering that we've been playing this game back since 2007. So now entering its 6th or the 7th year. You know, it's been a great ride, and I, you know, got to thank everyone else for being a part of it with us as well. It's been awesome.
I mean, you just read through a lot of events there for Call of Duty 4, and I think the only disappointing thing was last year, Season 10. That's when we seen the first CGPL with the big LAN event from Cybergamer. That's when Samsung jumped on board for a couple of ODCs. It would have been great to see a few of those things earlier. I know, like you said, we did see the huge NVIDIA comp, and there has been lots and lots, but not a tremendous amount from Cybergamer. Would I be wrong to say that?
Yeah, no, you'd be right to say that. Yeah, but
right.
Look,
at least there's once tonight.
Exactly, no, and we are here into the knife round. Of course, it's on the map of Strike. That is traditionally where we start things off, ladies and gentlemen. And big shouts to Swifts for joining us here in the spectators box as well. Pretty standard stuff heading down that mid street there. Just Kid bringing up the rear a little bit. Samson's sort of standing at the front there, so he actually is in this game. It's good to see him here as well. We can see everyone going back and forth. Their first one goes to Honey Badger, but Samson and Just Kid picks one up. That's 2 for Just Kid so far. Badger makes it his second. Nick into the Badger, and Finn will pick him up. It's now 1v1. Nick up against Finn, the Jarl Marmberg, as he is otherwise known, and going head-to-head here is very, very important, this one, actually. It's going to give the team who wins it that advantage of being able to pick that map. So that one is going to go towards eXile5, and Nick Man gets it done. He's going to be choosing, I think, on the map here that we'll be starting on. And no, he is going to give the map over towards the Shovelman to choose. eXile5 clearly feeling fairly confident, Steve.
We did see 2 weeks ago when X5 played their semis, they actually lost the knife round first up as well. But it didn't stop them. They came back. I can't remember who they played. I'm going to check that up because they stomped them in 2 flat rounds. It was something like 32 rounds to 9 to their oppositions. I'm going to check that out right now just while we're getting into here.
All right, nonetheless, Crash is going to be the first map, and what a huge one. And, you know, it's fair enough here. Interestingly, that the guys from Shoveler want to choose the map of Crash. Often that means you actually surrender the choice of side to the opposing team. So, you know, will we see eXile5 that want to rock up for the attack side first, get it out the way? We often have seen in the past that it's a little bit trickier depending on what team you are. Historically as well, eXile5 were definitely deemed to be a slower, campy team. I mean, this is a very different lineup here. We see players like Juzzkid as well, super aggressive with the SMG, the way he works that one. If Nick gets the scope as well, obviously we're not going to see, you know, old mate the one sort of rock up for that one. But, you know, depending on what the weapon assignments go here as well, it could impact the playing style of eXile5 in this case. We know that, you know, a team that with a core that was made up of Spatula and Samson generally would opt for more passive, more reactive play, a journey play that involved some set strats and you know, watching a lot of corners and just playing very methodically here. But the amount of talent in this lineup of eXile5, I know we're talking up too much, but you guys know what I'm talking about here. The amount of talent in this team, they can break a defense as easily as they can roll over and defend an attack as well. So we're going to be looking to see how they try and go aggressive here. It looks like, yep, defense is going to be chosen here by eXile5. So they want a bit of a slower, bit of an easier start to the game. Let's see how they set up here. And if it's going to be one of those eXile5-esque defenses that we're so used to seeing over the years.
It was Mecca. I finally found it. I did all that searching. CG, a little bit hard to navigate these days through the back, but that was Mecca TT. And it was something like 32 rounds to 6, maybe 9. I don't think they went as far as 9 over the 2 maps. So that was an absolute walloping from eXile5. I said they lost the knife round, so it doesn't mean it doesn't mean too much. And I think Mecca actually chose map 1 first. They did. eXile5 said, all right, you won the knife round. They went and chose the map, destroyed him on their own map, came back and won on the second map as well. So knife round can be an advantage, but when, like you said, Uber, when you have a team which has been together this long, played this much together in so many competitions, they're really at the top of their game. Even when they're not, they're still very dominant and they trust each other. They have a lot of faith in each other's abilities, and that's what happens.
Exactly. And you know, when you got and both these teams as well, these guys should know this map like the back of their hand. They should be able to sit at their desk with their eyes closed and still be able to strafe jump all through the map. Do that course. You know that course that you do, guys, just to practice your strafing? Well, they know that. They can do it with their eyes closed. So both these teams know exactly how it's done here. I'm going to wrap as well. And of course, yeah, big shout outs to everyone who has joined us as well. Big shout out to Marcus. Thank you for hitting me up on the X5, bro. I don't really have it on much anymore, but thank you nonetheless. If you guys have Twitter as well, I know for you CoD4 guys, we're still using X5, so we'd like to be a little bit old school, but hit me up on at UberShouts. Apparently that's what I do. Of course, so that's what I've been doing here for CoD4 for quite some time, and it is nice to get back to my roots. And I was never very good at this game, it's safe to say. Anyone who's ever played with me can verify. But it was always real fun getting around the Shoutcast, and that's what we're here to do, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, first round of this best of 3 eXile5 going up against the Shovelman. We're going to get our knife out the way. Probably we'll have everyone just up around the B4-3 for this one. And I think they'll just wait for the next round. Shout out to Fantasy as well. What a cutie.
I just want to say, last week, this was the first one we've seen with the Shovelmen come out. And a man to watch, the guy to watch from the Shovelmen is definitely Steve on that scope. He absolutely ripped Elevate apart on their first map. So that's definitely a danger man to watch. And like we said, eXile5, it spreads out a little bit between Nick, Samson, Quirts, so there's a bit there. But Nick, first blood, taking out Steve with that scope. Are they in-game? We're mucking around. I think we're still mucking around. I was getting all excited seeing a nice shot. My eyes aren't always
just
on.
Rup,
My
Steve.
eyes.
Just rup.
We're still waiting for me. I thought we readied up. What's going on? What is
no,
going on?
we are into the game now, ladies and gentlemen.
We're all
so eXile5 opted for the defensive side here. And I'm actually going to roll out with Juzzkid as well, just to see how this one starts up. And you know, typically, I guess he's got that SMG in hands, and a nade over out towards the front of blue here. Juzzkid is going to be heading probably towards those mid corridors or helping back A with Samson. Now, nade's going everywhere. The bomb is in the hands of Finn, though, on the Team Shovel team, and now he's just got himself into that top blue. Oh, look, good pick there from Inject on towards Samson. Now, shots being fired in the bottom of bottom eight. Juzzkid picks up Honey Badger. Finn trying to put a couple taps in there, as well as the smoke does go up fairly heavily. Nev wants to get an entry here into the back of A. And he's just having a look on that pallet, seeing if he can get his way in there. Just get up on wooden stairs there. Great work to pick up Nev. And that's his second for the round. Nick with a nerdy nade on to Finn as well, sitting out inside blue, or at least front blue, as he's trying to come out with a bomb. So a 4v2 already in this round. eXile5 with a fairly commanding hold there. We can see Inject with the scope, bottom blue now. He's just trying to have a little bit of a look towards... I mean, it's tough. You never want to be, you know, the last guy standing. Oh, he got the tag on Juzzkid. The 98 damage wasn't quite enough through the wall now. He's going to make his way across. It's him and Blaze now, and they're just going to try and have to make some sort of entry into bottom A. The bomb is actually dropped over in front of blue, though, so going to be a little bit tricky for them at this stage now. Blaze going into bottom A. He's going to have to go against Juzzkid. Manages to pick him up there. A little bit of quick spray as he makes his way into mid A. Shot comes towards him from over towards his own spawn, actually. Now, problem is, the bomb's still sitting over towards blue. Nick there, and Fantasy make it happen there. Steve and Blaze hit the deck. First round towards eXile5, and they held A quite commandingly, I feel.
Yeah, they did. I don't think they were in a position looking at losing that round, Uber, and we are off once again. Nick on that scope, and that's going to be a great battle between him and Steve. I'm looking forward to seeing how that one pans out during this map one. Blaze does go take down Juzzkid, so that's a good first start to them. Nick, nice shot coming up through the mid. Who was that? That was on the Blaze. So they do have the advantage now. It is 4-2-3 in favour of eXile5. Smoke, a lot of smoke on A. Finn going to come get that bomb. He does now, heading towards A. It should be pretty covered. He's got a few teammates over there. There is a bit of a battle in A between two players, with Fantasy just moving around the back. Quirts has got this midsection all settled down. So we do have Badge up there with a gunfight with his little SMG. He can't actually pick up anyone. He's heavily tagged himself, and Fantasy and Samson coming up to full life now. So 2 plays 4. Not looking good this round either. X5 definitely got control on this. Badge in this A bomb site, waiting for Finn with that bomb. Finn does take down Quirts. Let's see if we can't get some Finn up here on the screen for you, ladies and gentlemen, as we're just scrolling through. Can't, because he has gone down. So it's all up to Badge, and he's stuck in A, going up to the roof now. See if he can't get a couple of picks. There is an eXile5 player on the top of the vents, which is Samson. Does take him down. There's 2 rounds over to eXile5 straight away there. Good start. Good confidence booster there, Uber.
Yeah, here's the problem is that, I mean, first of all, eXile5 don't really need the boost to their confidence. They have it to start with. Nick is going ham. He's you've got to shut him down now. He's gone straight towards gate corner now. I'm looking at Nick with the scope. He's watching the rotate towards the front A. Justkid picks up Nev there with a nade that's quite deep actually towards his own spawn. And yeah, all Nick has to do really is just keep thinking. If you're Steve, you've got to shut him down. You have to take Nick out of the game because bam, Badger hits the deck now. Nick coming up to a fairly aggressive spot there at gate corner, but he can catch the A push really easily now. eXile5 have time to set up yet again. It's a 5v3 situation, but the spearhead for the Shovelman is down. Blaze will pick up Nick there at gate corner. Nick going a little bit too deep there. Justkid has got a good hold on towards back A though as well. As Finn is going to try and make his way in. He's got the bomb and he's got his old mate Steve over there as well. He's got the scope in hand. So Quirt's there, good pick towards Blaze, and now it's only again another 4v2. So it's the third time we've seen this. eXile5 win the early engagements. They get good picks, and it really just takes the wind out from the sails of the Shovelmen as they try and push across towards A. You've got to get into A. You've got to get early picks across mid. But when you're dealing with Nick, when you're dealing with Quirts as well, it's so very hard to do that because you're just going to get outgunned at range. Finn pushing into bottom A now. Steve is watching the back A as well, just trying to get some eyes on that cross. Obviously, the scope for eXile5 is down, so there is that advantage. Justkid will drop key SMG down in A, but there is still one more. Now we can see Steve going to push up those stairs. He's got to get taken out on the bomb side by Samson, but Samson will drop to Finn. Finn trying to get a plant now. Shots coming over from Archers, but it should be a clean plant here. Finn now he's going to crawl across and head towards those wooden stairs. It's going to be an eXile5 player, at least at bottom A. Now it's Finn. He's going to make his way out very quietly here. Can't really afford to make any sound at this stage, and Finn sneaking down towards bot. He's going to see Quirt's going to pick him up very quickly there. A 1v1 now. Oh, Fantasy hits the deck. Nice work from Finn there. That's going to make it a 3 down, and the important first round coming up there for the Shovelmen.
It is, and I was going to say, you mentioned that round, the battle between Steve and Nick. Steve 2 weeks ago did most of his damage on defense, but here we go. He's not. Oh, look at that. There's a double feed right there for him, taking the Justkid and Nick. So that's a big start for him, making me eat my words. Cast a curse right there, Uber. Not fucking around. Here we go. Finn with the bomb. He's the designated bomb man for this match initially, by the looks of it. Fantasy does take out Big Nev. Blaze gets a +10 as well, and that was a quick round. Wow, so aggressive coming out from the Shovelman. Want to turn things around a little bit, Uber.
That's what they've actually got to do, Steve. They can't actually. They've got to get in quickly. They can't afford to hang around and get picked off. Sort of as they're sort of through now. Nick going to head towards the top of that scope building here. And here we go. Let's pick up Blaze early on. Good nade across towards him now. Shots coming in towards the bottom A building, and obviously looking to see if they can pick a target. Samson pushing in bottom A. Another nade will come down, and Nev will actually cop that one from his own teammate there. Really, that's really not what you want to see if you're trying to work your way in towards A. So only 3 left. Again, eXile5 still a full 5 players now. Finn with bomb in hand. He's looking for an opportunity to come across mid, but he's got to watch out for Nick. If Nick wants to push gate corner, he's going to decimate you as you try to push front A now. Shots are coming across, and Steve is trying to make some work from the broken wall here. Not able to make any connections there as Samson picks up Badger over towards that bottom of A. Fantasy still watching the B alley now as he just pokes up, looking towards the middle of the map. Searching for targets here. Everyone on eXile5 really just looking out. Justkid picks up Finn now. 1 left here for the Shovelman. That's Steve with the scope. He's sitting out in front of A. He will get picked up. That's 2-3 in favour of eXile5.
Good close game at the moment, which is what we want. That's what we want. That's what we get excited about, especially in grand finals and maybe a little bit of overtime tonight. That's what we want. Nick here just spamming it out a little bit. Kid just pulling up Badge from Shovel there. Finn did take a little bit of a hit there onto Kid, and we are 1 down on both sides here. Nick's got all this sorted out at the back. Well, there we go. Just a little bit of a noob nade or a cheap nade thrown over the roofs. Does pull up Nev there. Things have slowed down just a little bit now. The boys taking a breather, trying to reassess what is going on. Finn still with that bomb, and every time he's grabbed it, so I'm not too sure. We'll have to see who's actually running out with the bomb and then giving it Finn. But there is one in A, and there is a good coverage on this crossover here, I believe. Blaze under a few attacks. Where's that coming from? Top A from the look of it, up where that bomb is. 3v4, so still very close. Still anyone's round, this one with 2 versus 3 on the team down TV scoreboard. Blaze just putting out a few shots there, see if he can't get a few tags, just something to give his team a little bit of inspiration. Finn does go down, so the bomb will be down as well. Fantasy coming around for this big flank, and he's in a good position here. There we go. He picks up Blaze, and last one up is Steve, who is off at the last one up here, and he does have scope in hand. Doesn't look like he's got anything else. He's trying to get a pick on the Nick, unsuccessful. He's getting tagged up from everywhere. Where's he going to go? He goes back towards Nick. Nick takes him down, and that is 4-2 in favour of eXile5. Only dropping just Kid from the looks of it there.
Yeah, important round for them, I think, just to continue to hold. Nick 8-2, still looking very, very strong. Juskin 6-5. You can see his aggression is paying off here. Nick will pick up Steve there. Great shot and smoke covering mid as Juskin tries to make his way through. Never will pick him up as he's pushing towards bottom lights though. Quet's onto him in response though. So the aggressive spearhead again from the Shovelmen has been dealt with. It's safe to say Finn is in top blue now. Shovelmen switch to more of a defensive approach. Finn trying to get some picks now out of top blue. He should have dropped the bomb bottom blue if I'm honest. If he gets picked up here, he's a really easy target for anyone is an easy target for Nick if they want to get the bomb. So not really sure why Finn still has that one. But nonetheless, he's trying to get some shots over towards mid of A. And he's going to have to get in at some point. But eXile5, they will be aggressive when they have to. When they're holding A, they're just going to sit tight here. And you can see no one's really poking their heads up. Finn trying to create some opportunities here with a bit of spray towards that building. But no one is presenting themselves. Now, Blaze is also sitting towards the front of blue as well. And we see some smoke go down over towards the pallet jump here. And Honey Badger wants to make his way in. That'll protect from Juskid. He gets in and picks up Nick now. Scope down for eXile5. He heard a drop there as well. Badge pushing in the middle of A. Shots coming from the top of A, and that is because the Shovelmen have got it completely covered now. All three are in. Oh, no! Easy spot there. Quetz will pick up Badge, but Blaze managed to respond onto him as well. 2v1 now. Fantasy the man. He's got to get it done here, and he's sitting onto that chopper. So will he make the silent jump and try and get a little bit of a peek? I'm not sure now. He is going to crouch walk his way across, though. 2 players for the Shovelmen are sitting well and truly inside eXile5. So good aggression from them, actually. The smoke on towards the pallet jump was excellent. Nick wasn't really ready for that at all. He was hoping to maybe catch someone as they jumped up at him. Either way, Fantasy, bottom of A, moving up now. Still making no sound. Oh, Finn gets picked up by a bit of hip fire there. Nicely done, but a lot of damage towards Fantasy now. The fake plant is coming out, and Blaze is not having any of it. He's going to come straight down, try and deal with that. Fantasy picks him up. Nice double for Fantasy to clean that one up. 5-2 is the score, and Danny Boy makes it good for eXile5.
I think Blaze just got a bit confused if that was a dummy defuse or not, and then he went and poked out, probably a little bit prematurely. So I think X5 did very well. Fantasy there, pulling that one in for the boys at eXile5, and Shovel just need to relax a little bit. A good nade there. No, there was a friendly fire. So Quirt's trying to help out the boys over on Shovelman. Fantasy does take down Steve with a nice nade. Nev did get a frag as well, so 4v3. We do have another advantage for the Shovelman, which is quickly gone with Fantasy getting the big +10. Wow. And all of a sudden, things are level straight back up. We do have Blaze this time. Not getting taken from behind from Fantasy, though he does end up getting taken down. Finn coming up, taking down Fantasy. Last man standing, of course, is Finn from the Shovelmen, and that is 3-5. Close game. Whoa.
That was really nice, actually, from the Shovelmen. Fantasy making it 4 kills for that round. Potential +15. I'm not really sure when that nade came down. Never again eating the nade, and Nick just going to hold here at the top of that of sandbags here. Fantasy picks up Blaze as well. Again, these early nades are really hurting the Shovelmen. They're just running out of people to push into A with now. Finn has taken my advice and dropped the bomb bottom of blue now as he just trying to make some picks. Doesn't manage to catch onto him. This will be fairly standard approach here from the Shovelmen. A few shots coming out, and are going to have to be a good smoke in the back A to get them in. They will have to push into that one now as Injector's going to rotate around now. He's near red car on that slope, looking for a spot here, but no one presenting themselves yet again. Fantasy is crouched in eXile5 style in that B alley just under the car. Fairly standard location for him. Quet's sitting top of the glitch building as well. Great way to watch an archer's push. Juskin picks up the Badger there, and you can see him just sitting on those blue stairs. So it's going to have to be a smoke there to stop him. Nick picks up Steve as he tries to get his own sort of pick there. Finn is the last man standing here, currently topping for his team, but not in the best spot to really make anything happen. Here's some SMG fire coming across. Fantasy combining nicely there with Nick to pick him up. 6-3, eXile5's way. To be fair, if you're a Shovelman player, you're fairly happy with having 3 rounds at this point. You probably want 3 more at least, though.
Maybe it's time to try a little B action there for Shovelmen. A has been their dominant side, of course. Now, Just looking at that mini-map, a lot coming down this mid-section, so maybe that's a little bit of what they're trying to do here, taking them by storm. J-Kid's in a good spot to pick up a couple of players. Gets one, gets two down there with his SMG, and that's a good start from them. Nev did pick up one, but it is Finn, Steve, Blaze onto 4 of the eXile5 players. Just Kid loving his spot here. If he pokes up now, he will see another one. He does poke up with his Deagle, can't quite get anything. Does take a few hits, out with the flash. Nothing to come of that. He runs away at the wrong time. Steve does take down Fantasy, and Finn quickly there with the bomb. So they have taken B. Finn does spot out the last one of the last eXile5 players coming around to this B bomb site from the other side, and now we do have another player moving up. So Finn's in a good position. He does know where both are. Samson does take him down. Last one up to Steve. Steve's going to have a player at the front and back of him any moment now. He's got to be very careful. Switches over to his AK-74U, and what can he do? So he's still a player right behind him, just maybe heading up to those roofs, and he is trying to chase down Nick. Nick just around this corner. So they're playing really patiently here, and they're making Steve do all the work. Even though there's only 1v2, there we go. Takes down one, which is Nick. Last one up, 1v1. Samson. Samson's still on top of this roof. He's in a good spot. If he just looks down a little bit, no, he can't. The veranda is in the way. Is he going to come up these stairs? Let me quickly check. He does go up the stairs. Steve, you're a little champion. Going B. That's what they needed to do, Uber. And that pulled him back around. 6-4 on the Team Down TV CoD4 CGi Grand Final scoreboard.
It's not even that. It's that Steve is winning these like 1v1s where he's got the focus advantage, I suppose. He's sharp, and these eXile5 guys are sitting waiting for him, yet they're just way too slow. He's far too fast on the trigger finger there. Nonetheless, Nick will pick him up this round, so he's going to have to sit out and watch the rest of his team try and duke it out here. It's going to be another A push again. You can see a lot of shots being thrown in the bottom of that A building. Never will pick up Juzkid, though, and that leaves it pretty skinny in terms of defense over at A. There's only one, I think, I play for eXile5, and that's Samson, but you know he gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. He's sitting mid of A. Nick watching back of Samson, watching for a push. He gets some bullets flying at him up those stairs. He's going to try and make the shot. Just poking this one. Fast pre-fire on towards Finn there as Quirts will pick up Blaze from across the map. And now Honey Badger, the last man standing. He actually got himself into back A via the pallet jump, if I'm not mistaken. And we have a look at what he is up to. He is in back A. So it's technically a 1v1 in this vicinity, but Nick is watching from the top of the sandbags building now. So if Badge wants to rotate, he probably needs to deal with Nick first with his Deagle ID. If he can get onto him with the 74U, he'd be pretty happy. But now, Nick choosing not to poke. This is going to give Badge the chance to rotate through mid. Picks up Quirts from behind, but now Cat's out the bag. He's going to have to duck into that little alcove there. Red car shots coming across. Fantasy will pick him up there. I mean, really, there's not much you can do in that position. I think he played it quite well. Got the drop on Juzkid, but as soon as you pick up one player, Steve, everyone's going to know where you are. He had Nick behind him. He had Fantasy in front of him. Not much you can do there, but drop. 7-4 in favour of eXile5.
1v4, it's a tough ask for anyone. You got to really be on your game and hope for a little bit of luck your way to pull off that one. And it's not like we have a full-time statistician here, but I'm wondering, we did notice Steve went down right away early in that last round with Nick taking him out. I wonder what the stats are for Steve going down early and the Shovelman having a bit of problems there. There are a lot of players here all on A. Samson, he doesn't care. He's just pushing through. Steve does take down Fantasy. It is 4v2. So eXile5 in a little bit of trouble. But we did see this 2 weeks ago, and the eXile5 boys don't muck around. Samson's gone down. It's all up to Quirts. What can he do? Let's look for him, ladies and gentlemen. Top A on this back balcony. There is a couple of players in A. You can hear that plant go down now. I'll turn that in-game sound up for you guys just a little bit. Hopefully you can hear it, and he's just going to be patient and wait this out. Is he going to go for a bit of a sneaky defuse? No, he comes around. Nearly picks up the +10. Not quite. Honey Badger, quick enough, takes him down. A good round there for him, the Shovelman. And I didn't think this game would be so close, Uber. And obviously 65 versus 35%. Neither did the viewers.
Yeah, the thing is here, the smokes and the A push is great. Here is Juzkid coming up towards the helicopter here, trying to put some shots, but heavy smoke. Finn are never going to have to go straight for him now. He will go down. Samson picks up Nevs from A, those shots in towards top, bottom of A, should I say now. As Finn trying to pick up the aggressing Samson shots coming out from those stairs. We can see the push in from Honey Badger as well. He's going to sit inside bottom A in that alcove and wait maybe for Samson to pop yet again. Oh, the nade is good. And that was well calmed out there. Finn will drop there as he tries to make the rotation towards bottom of A. And now Honey Badger is pretty well stuck in there on his own. His old mate Steve is just at red card, trying to make that pick against Nick. I mean, no one really going to back themselves when they're trying to take out old mate Nick on the scope. So we're going to see Steve try and rotate to a more favourable position. Fantasy chilling and be out of here. Might jump up on that fridge and have a look towards front of A. But he'll be careful the way he pokes it because he knows that Steve's still got that scope. Samson picks up Honey Badger now. Last man standing is Steve. With that scope in hand, you probably want a different weapon at some point here. Looking towards Bialy. I think as he looked away, someone just poked. Nick is too good, though. Good shot there in the bottom. Shot there in the bottom of A. 5 to 8. And yeah, the reason why the shovel guys are actually getting a few rounds here is because their A push is really good. They're not actually bothering for B. A pushes are good. Their 1v1s are really good. And of course, we saw that ridiculous catch there from Steve. So they are putting some rounds on the board, and they're going to be very handy later on.
They certainly are. I'm just going to pull it over straight over here to the Shovelman to see what Finn is doing. Finn's coming pretty hard down mid. He has stopped now just outside the helicopter. We do have 2 eXile5, 1 Shovelman inside A, and a good coverage over on B. Let's try and find a little bit more action. So it is Neff inside A, just on that bottom floor. And he does have 2 to contend with in there if he pushes out, as well as Nick on his scope if he decides to run through that doorway. There we go. He spots up one. Not quite good enough, but he's got work. He's got Samson there giving his teammate a lot of support. Takes him out. Just hit onto Blaze. Nick has changed up a little bit. He's got himself an AK here. Does spot one right at the back. Takes him down. That was a lovely shot. 5 to 9. I must ask you as well, which is the preferred side? Which is the advantage side on Crash?
Defense normally is quite heavily slanted. It's kind of like the counter-terrorist side on Dust 2, for example, on Counter-Strike. But I've seen plenty of teams turn it around. Plenty of good teams turn it right around. It's not as maybe slanted as Vacant defense, but it's pretty heavily biased towards the defending side. But if you're attacking nades and smokes are good and your entry is fast and you have confident SMGs, it's fine. Your attack can be good. In 5 rounds here for the Shovelman. It's not too bad really at all. Fantasy picks up Blaze there. Just inside A. Got to be looking for a target here. Does pick one up. Badger hits the deck. Headshot from the SMG is going to do you in very easily now. Nick rotating over towards top of Glitch, looking towards that blue building here. And you can see everyone, Finn getting some shots towards Bialy. Fantasy going so low. Not quite able to drop him though. Finn says that's enough for him to put towards A. Steve hits the deck there. That's Nick's shot to pick him up now. A 5v2 situation. Finn going to get some wallbang spam straight through. Samson on the Nevers with a late nerdy nade, and we know Samson's got those in spades. Finn, the last man standing. They know where he is. He's just sitting in body with the SMG. He's going to get pushed momentarily from the stairs. Will he be there to see it? No, he won't. He's made plenty of sound back A, though. It's pretty obvious to where he is. Shots towards bottom stairs. Jazkid picks him up. 10 to 5 it is, and that is half-time. And to be honest, that's kind of what you expect to see as a half-time score. The Shovelmen struggling a little bit there on the attacking side. We can see in terms of eXile5, Nick 16 and 6. Fantasy is 14 and 5. His hold of Bialy, that's not really what's amazing about his play so far. It's the way he's been getting picks on towards mid. He's keeping his head down early, just to stay alive in that Bialy, and then he's poking up and he's killing the late push in towards A. Because basically the Shovelmen are getting shut down early by some nades. Jazkid pushing on a helicopter, so they have to pull into blue and wait and go again. Hold some of their smokes back. Fantasy, just jumping up on top of Bialy. He might rotate all the way through, but he normally doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to push towards Steve on this scope. He just watches from Bialy, gets some great picks across, and really messes up that late push in towards A. So very, very solid work there from eXile5. Probably what you'd expect to see from him. I like the aggression, though. I think if you want to defend A properly, you need to be aggressive. You need to have both in equal measure. You've got to push into bottom A. You've got to push onto the attackers because attackers are going to flash. They're going to nade it. They're going to run straight into bottom A and just try and spray you. And, you know, despite the changes to, the web switch bind now in Call of Duty 4, SMGs are still nasty at close range. And we saw what Steve could do with one a few rounds ago. So now, second half, ladies and gentlemen, into our 16th round of the game. It's 5 rounds in favour of eXile5, but now, timeout's been called there by Nick. Quirt's on a bit of a lag out.
And like I said right at the beginning of this game, I'm interested to see how Steve goes. This is the side he shot on for the Shovelmen just a few weeks ago. So it'd be interesting if he can get the advantage now over Nick. We did see Nick. What is Nick's score? It is 16-6 with 2 assists. So he's been going really well. Steve is 10-12. So he doesn't quite have the upper hand there. The positive KDR. He's been doing well for his team. And there's a big difference in kills, even for 5 to 10 rounds. So we have had, who's dropped there is Quirts. Quirts looks like he has dropped from eXile5. That's maybe why we've got the timeout there. A little bit of lag, possibly.
Yeah, possibly. They'll put Wildflower in for him anyway, so they have some subs waiting in the wings. eXile5, they'll be fine.
Which is what you need, isn't it? Especially with Grand Final, you want to make sure you've got plenty of players and a couple of spares just in case this type of stuff happens.
All right, so looking over the scoreboard here, and you know, I've got to say, Finn is you know, bombing quite well here for the Shovelmen, despite being bomb carrier, which often means that you have to be a little bit more concerned about self-preservation and not running in the other wing trying to get that you know, 360 no-scope team down. He's done quite well there to pick up those AK frags, and he's just being fairly solid. It's a often late pushes towards A, and he's getting some good picks. His 1v1s have been nice. I think they need a little bit of support from Nev and Badge here. And I've played with Nev before. I've played with him quite a lot, actually. And a very clever player, very skilled player. Pressure, though, is not his best friend. And I remember SGL, I think our whole team crumbled under pressure and lost to Must Be Wheat Team 2. Which, as much as I love the guys in that team, we weren't expecting to really lose that one. But I think pressure got to us. But yeah, Nev definitely knows how to feel that pressure as well. Played with Finn and a few of these guys in my time was with Arcanum as well, and much the same. Finn's very, very good though. I mean, considering coming from Provoke and with Blaze as well, how far he's come and what is a comparatively short amount of time. You've got to be fairly impressed with that as well. So they've just really got to hold now, and they've got to play their style of game. There's no point, you know. There's no point trying to make changes to your strategy in the middle of a game. You've got to, you know, throw in a good 80% of your own brand of Call of Duty 4 and 20% reactions and understanding what your opponents are trying to do. So I'm waiting for Rups here on the side of eXile5. Yeah, Nick quite large there, 16-6 fantasies. You can see on the scoreboard, 14-5. Samson not too far behind as well. Quertz has reconnected, and we're ready to go. And I'll let you take this first round of the second half. And
now that we are into halftime as well, Libra, that poll has closed. It has. And we're looking at 67.6% eXile5's way against 32.4% in favour of the Shovelmen. Watching up here with just Kid and pushing hard into A. He's going to have a couple of boys from the Shovelmen just on the other side of this. As soon as he pokes his head out, they are well hidden. But he's not going to go. He's going to back up a little bit. Let's see who we got here. We do have Badge watching A just outside as well as a teammate. It is down to 2 players for eXile5 against 4. So let's switch around to these eXile5 players. Once again, we do have Quertz here looking back towards. He wants to get that bomb, pick it up. It should be safe. He seems a little bit concerned to pick it up, but he's managed to get it. Looking back towards A on the other side of that helicopter, and his teammate Nick is right there with him. A few shots going out towards A now with Nick. And they're just really going to take their time here. After all, they do have twice as many. Was that a bit of that? What's going on there? A bit of friendly fire. And wow, I think that may have just been a mistake, obviously, from Nick, but he seemed to get a good look at him. Did you see that one, Uber?
Yeah, I did see that. That's we'll have to call a timeout, I think, as soon as we can. Yeah, timeout being called for the next. Don't really think it'll count, so you'll have to really see if they want to throw it in there. Reality is, yeah, Quert's on a bit of a lag out there. One player reckons he restarted his modem because of his score, but I don't know about that. Looks like they're playing this round as seriously as any other, so we're going to play on despite Quert's sort of on the lag-out train here, and Nick will pick up Steve there. It was actually a really good defense coming out from the Shovelmen in that last round. Just really, really solid, but Nick will always get the picks, you know what I mean? Never sitting on top of Wooden there, really getting out-jeweled by Juzki at the moment. He's going to be forced in towards back A and just to keep his head down. Now, Nick with his second there on towards Blaze. Never will pick out Juzki. They actually ended up pushing him instead of backing off. Nick really working that B alley quite nicely, actually. Bomb is dropped, though, over towards his own spawn, and that's probably because the man carrying it was Quertz. No, it's just been dropped on that slope here. So Nick will make his way over there now as he tries to reclaim that one. Finn, though, holding nicely, picks up Samson, just sitting in that blue alley now. He got himself in a blue building. Shots coming from Finn as well. Makes it 3 in that last little passage of play. WTF comes out from him. He's picked them up. And yeah, everyone from eXile5 being forced to push onto that bomb. And that is 10-7. I think that'll probably count here, but we are getting Quertz back into the game. Hopefully this is the last time, Mets. Otherwise, it might be might be bad news for eXile5, really. They dropped that round there. That's 2 on the trot that they've lost.
With connection problems, I mean, they've still got a few rounds to up their sleeve to play with, even though Shovel do have the preferred side here. So, you never know. Shovel might pull this a little bit closer and get their confidence up and somehow come away with map 1, especially with that lag playing in their favour and against eXile5, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, despite all those things, the hold there from Finn was pretty good. It was the round was solidly in eXile5's favour, even without Quertz. And we saw Finn got himself into blue. Bomber sort of dropped on the slope or somewhere similar. you don't really want to leave it out in the open. Usually you can sort of strafe out, strafe back in, but late round, when your opponents are pushed all the way into you, you know, you're going to make it very, very difficult for you to reclaim that easily now. I'm just going to have a bit of an aerial view over the middle of the map, and maybe we can illustrate here what kind of defense that the guys from the Shovelmen are putting on. I just want to spotlight that for a little, for a moment here as well. Blaze is just going to be nerdinating at that one, as Nev is going to be getting to A, and he's the only one there, so I think we might see Badger and Blaze head there slowly, but Samson pushing straight up. Look at Nick, though, they're coming straight at them here. Hammer and Tong. Steve picks up Juzzkid on the push, but heavy smokes towards lights. They've got front and mid lights completely smoked out now. Get themselves in there now. Complete control of the middle of the map. If they don't get poked from A or from top sandbags, oh, double for Quetz there with the nades. He picks one up. Back A as well as taking that one up on the wooden stairs. Honey Badger picks up Nick. But the whole B alley side of the map is under eXile5's control right now. They've got the bomb on the helicopter. That is in the hands of Fantasy now. He's going to have to be careful as he makes his way across. Some shots going towards Quetz, dropping him very, very low. They don't want to lose him at this stage. He's a key rotational player right now, but he's lagging out again. Surely we've got to bring in the sub here as Samson trying to put some deagle shots towards that back green car. And looks like, yes, Blaze is pinned behind there. He's going to have to leave in a second. He can't take on two. He's got to pull back at some point here. I don't really know who's going to play this one yet. He's gone out, and he's sitting in that courtyard now. Flash towards B alley as he tries to hold. There is going to be one sitting on the bomb. Fantasy going to make his way in towards the back of the lights building here, looking for maybe a jump straight over the wall, but it's going to be met. He's going to be met with Finn, who's actually sitting in my favourite Jew spot in the world. He's sitting right behind that tree, sort of in the backyard here. Oh, his own spawn. He's waiting. He can see the push here, but he can't poke too early. He doesn't want to give himself away. He just wants to wait. He might be able to set himself up a +10 here if he has a good read on where both players are. Now, as Samson picks up Blaze, yeah, he's got two on the bomb. Not good positioning at all from eXile5. Finn picks up two. He's just dewing up in the back corner there, and that's quite funny, but that's what you do. So many players would have taken that shot straight away, but he sat, made sure one player was too busy looking in the wrong direction. One was planting the bomb. Bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Easily done. No timeout able to be called here by, I don't think I can call a timeout either, but here we go. It is 10 to 8. And eXile5 losing their lead.
They certainly are, and now it's time where they really need to look at getting Wildflower back in here. I guess if the Shovelmen wanted, or I think if the Shovelmen probably still got a timeout up their sleeve if they wanted to use it for them. But eXile5 down to 2 already. But look, they may be down a player, but they're still dominating pretty hard considering. Look at this, 2v2, with Nick just going to do a bit of a... I thought he was going to go for a bit of a backwards synchronized dive type thing, but no, he's up here, and he does have a player just on the other side of this fence below him. His teammate is playing the bomb. He has gone down, so it's all up to Nick now. Shovelmen, they are down a few players, but they're not letting it hinder their spirits as they know that Quertz does have a few connection problems. So it is Nick versus Honey Badger. What's he going to do? Nick's in a good spot here and takes him down. My goodness. I don't know if eXile5 won that round or Shovelmen threw it away. That's a tough one.
No, Nick Hibbert is just all glass. It doesn't matter what he's doing there. He got himself up on a top glitch, which is a good vantage point anyway, providing you know where the enemy team is. An easy pick towards B alley, picks up Nevis, and then I've just straight onto the bomb. That Ute is partially wall bangable, as it were, and he's gotten straight through that one now. Juzzkid trying to push me, deagle shots towards top of glitch, leaves Steve very, very low, but Blaze picks up Fantasy now. Juzzkid super aggressive, but the bomb is dropped. Finn picks him up at B alley now, and it's solid defense. eXile5 are kind of like wave breaking on rock right now. They're really being aggressive by getting picked up too easily. Quertz picks up Blaze there from the front of B. It's a little bit of an exposed position, and there we go. Steve will pick him up for his mistake now. It's just Nick left, and well, if anyone can do it, he can, but he's really going to make his way over. He's not only going to have to get the bomb, he's going to get a shot towards top of glitch, but Steve is too good there. His third kill for the round, and it's going to bring up another one up for the Shovelmen. It's only 2 rounds in it now as we head into our 21st round. eXile5, it's really only Nick that's excelling on the on the offensive side here. The rest of them struggling to get in and plant that bomb.
They certainly are, and you got to plant that bomb. You got to get that objective down, don't you? Steve and Honey Badger taking out the first 2 players there from eXile5, which is Fantasy and Juzzkid. There is another one going down. No, Nick manages to save his teammate there as Badger was coming in. Quertz taking down Nev. So Quertz must be all right at the moment. That bomb is down. eXile5 do have a massive advantage here. 3-2-3. But the bomb is down, so obviously eXile5, they just need to be patient here, defend this bomb. Now, there we go. Silly mistake, but Blaze does manage to get away with it. Taking down Nick with a nice headshot. Finn pushing in hard as well here, trying to get up and get that defuse. Quertz going a little bit huge though. Gets the +10, gets the +15, and finishes them off, Uber. Wow.
Not too shabby at all here. Nicely played there. And look, a really important round for eXile5 to try and build up a little bit more momentum, because I just feel like their A entries have been lacking in a big way here. Nick needs to make some good picks early on, and he does. Badger hits the deck. Steve gets tagged as he jumps down. He's going to go down as well. The fall damage is just enough to pick him up with the 98 scope damage on top of that. Nev picks up Juzzkid over towards A now. Nick lead an aid from Nev. Finn, should I say, though. And Finn's just going to sit himself up in B alley. He's been holding it really well, but all the play is over towards A at this stage. Now, Nev reloading. You can't double tap that web switch anymore, and Samson will catch him with his pants down. A 3v2 is unfolded now. Finn going to do what Fantasy was doing. Oh, nice. Nicely done as well. Just to the very man that I was mentioning as well. Headshot towards Fantasy from that fridge in B alley. Now he's going to make his way towards top of lights and just get a bit of overwatch. I think he might head towards sandbags and help out A Blaze. Nice pick up towards Quirts, and he has set himself up nicely in bottom A. He knows there's no one on top of sandbags, so we can be here right now. Finn, great pick as well. The guys from the Shovel Men just rotating perfectly. You can see initially Finn was sitting over towards the top of lights, but he knew A was where the eXile5 were holding. Very quick jump across towards the top of sandbags, picked up that player in back of A, if I'm not mistaken, held really, really nicely by the Shovel Man. Look at that, Steve opens that one up with Juzzkid.
So much action, and we're already up to map 1. Wow, this is going to be a great final series here. We do have Nev top A, keeping an eye out on everything. Fantasy taking down Finn, possibly in that back alley. Can't have eyes on him at the moment. Steve is looking towards her at the moment, so maybe a few calls coming out say, hey, watch this big bomb site, guys. Could be some action on it. Steve going in, trying to get a shot out there. I didn't see who that was running up into the A bomb site, but he did miss. Blaze keeping an eye out on things here. Right in the middle of the map, making sure everything is pretty safe and secure. Fantasy moving in slowly towards the A bomb site. And they do have a few players now on that A bomb site. It is 3v3 halfway through this round. I'll take it back to Steve. Steve's a man that's going to get a few things done here. There he goes, takes out Quirts as he's getting that crossover, and he should have that bomb site fairly well covered as well. Fantasy and Samson. Where is Samson? Samson's hurting, but he wants to get that bomb down. At least if he's going to die, he's going to get the objective first. Bomb is down. Steve's keeping an eye out. He's not going to get up past his door, you wouldn't think, without getting taken down. It is 2v2 now, so very close. I think the advantage once again with eXile5. This time they don't have Quirts to get that big plus 15. Steve coming in from the bottom with his deagle in hand. Oh, he gets done by Fantasy, laying on the ground, unexpected. All up to Blaze. Blaze doesn't know where he is. He's just going to go in a little bit reckless. He does put up the back end of someone, which was Fantasy. Fantasy takes him down. Samson and Fantasy taking out that round for eXile5. Things are starting to heat up just a little bit now here, Uber.
That was actually just what eXile5 needed, was Fantasy just to grow up here over on his A defense there. And we saw him picked up 3 for that round. Oh, Steve missed the shot towards mid there by a pixel. I swear it was by a pixel now. Smokes up towards the columns there now. Samson picks up Nevers in a good A defense there. Look at Quirts gets a nade down over towards Badger now. And eXile5 got to maybe make their way across here. Blaze has picked up Quirts though now, and there's a rotation towards A, but will it be quick enough? Juzzkid picks up Steve already. Juzzkid with a double through the smoke. Bomb getting planted down now. Finn with the man with it all to do at this stage, and he's well and truly out of the vicinity. He's just going to save his AK for the next round, I think. Oh, wrong game, no worries. Now Finn looking towards mid-A. They're coming out from, well, pretty much every part of A. It looks like it was like A was an eXile5 sandwich there. It was a good attack. I like to see Juzzkid getting in there. Good deep smokes mid. We saw it to columns. We saw it to front lights. That's what you need to do to make sure that Steve doesn't rip you apart early.
14-10. So another 2 rounds over to eXile5, and they'll take out map 1. The Shovelmen, on the other hand, do have a little bit more work to do here, Uber. There is one just on the other side of the fence. Juzzkid going in. Wow, a little bit recklessly and paid for it with his life. Badge does get one down there. Quirt's taken down. And Nev and Samson also getting a couple of frags. Nice shooting here from Finn. Can't quite pick up Nev, even though not Nev. Who's he after? It is Samson. Last one up. Let's try and flick around to Samson, see what he can do. Deagle in hand. Oh, his big shot's going out. Finn does take him, as he already had his aim on. And that was a quick round there. Not losing a single. Did Shovelmen lose a play that round? I don't think they did.
Maybe one, I think. I'm not sure. Either way, a bit ambitious for Nick to poke wood with a deagle when you've got an AK over an Archers. That's just going to kind of happen. Good day from Fantasy. Now we can see Juzzkid aggressively pushing mid. Shots coming out from bottom of lights. Steve with a nice one from top of lights. They weren't able to get enough smoke over towards that part of the map now, and shots, you can hear it. Now bottom lights. Nice work there. Juzzkid gets himself in a hardware. Going to make his way up those stairs. SMG out in front. We know this man can dominate the 1v1 situations. It's a B push here from eXile5 if I've ever seen one. Nice work from Samson. Their badge hits the deck. One more player. The jump in from Juskin is good. Nick picks up Nevers though with the headshot, bringing up match point here for eXile5. They have woken up. Their attack has been a lot better. Good push into B there. Excellent nades as well to back Red Car, and they stopped any sort of chance of a fast B rotate. Nice work.
Well, Quirtz's internet has definitely woken up, and eXile5 not looking back now, pushing hard, really aggressive. Just Kid here for eXile5 pushing right in top A, making sure this bomb site is covered for his teammates. Does get taken down there by Finn. Nick is there to lend a hand. Couldn't manage to get much up there. 3 versus 2. We got Steve and Finn against Fantasy Samson and Quirtz. Finn moving in now. Oh, Quirtz. He's on fire now. Wow. And that is map 1 going straight over to eXile5. What did Quirtz finish up with there? 9-6. So, but pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. And I guess as we maybe put that game back under the microscope, quite simply, eXile5 really sort of turned up in the second part of that attack side, and this often happens. This is the nature of Crash. You put up a strong defense, and the only thing you really have to worry about is deep nades, especially to back A, and smokes as well in front of lights that really make it hard for you to get picks on them as they cross. Using that noob corner, as we call it, or gay corner for that matter, getting shots across to front A is crucial. And we saw Fantasy do that really well on defense. eXile5 had to wake up a little bit and really make good use of JuzzKid and Fantasy as they made their way, aggressively towards A. The late sort of bit was really good because they set that up with strong picks through mid. They got picks on lights, they got in, JuzzKid owned hardware, and then it was a great push from Fantasy down B Street that really cleaned that one up there. So fairly solid and fairly standard stuff from, I really expect no less from eXile5 if I'm honest, Steve. They held nicely there. Dropped a few rounds I didn't exactly think they would, and some lag concerns there with Quirtz, but by and large it was a very strong game, and I love the addition of JuzzKid into their lineup. Fantasy has this unbridled aggression when you let him loose. Like FaZe when he used to play for eXile5. You give him the scope, and he had sensitivity so hard you flick the mouse and you'd be looking behind yourself, but he could harness that. He was super aggressive. We're seeing a bit of the old eXile5 campiness augmented with the JuzzKid coming in, the super aggressive spearhead for team immunity that he was back in the day, and of course Fantasy, who's so versatile with both the AK and the SMG, who has his own sort of controlled aggression there as well. Combining really nicely. I've got to give shout out to Steve, of course, for some excellent scope work, to go up against Nick in there and pretty much go head to head with him quite nicely. Some great picks down mid. Very well done by him too.
Now, as you know, Uber, I don't see the match chat. So who chose map 1 and who's chosen map 2? They're the questions.
Yep, map 1 was given over to the guys from the Shovelmen, which means eXile5 were able to choose side, which is why they went to fence first and build up that strong bit of rounds here. Now we are looking, I think, to be over on the map of Strike. Oh, I think we're knifing for each and every map. No, it's going to be straight up Strike here. So it looks like the attacking side is going to be the Shovelmen, and eXile5 going to be on defense here. This is a good map. This is really crucial here as well, being on that attack side now. Strike is one of those maps that you can have a great attack. If you can push through Cafe really well, if you can control mid-street with good deep nades again towards that scope wall and get into mid-shops, if you can control A from the outside, you can work your way through with some basic entries and get on in there. As I say that now, smokes are coming straight down, and Steve's going to get across first with no shots going over towards him. He's going to work his way into Caf and try and get that scope. Going to good use here. He's going to slowly make his way in. Checking corners first. Quirtz picks up Nevers here. Steve with a very quick and calculated poke towards over that double bins there. And does see ahead. He's going to poke it yet again. And he's just going to play and toy with the defenders there now. He's not really going to push anyone through. Quirtz with a nade there on top. So look at this. eXile5 just holding nicely. A bit of a B split here. Fantasy struggling to get any shots really across. Over onto his assailant. Quirtz with a third. Honey Badger gets himself into B. JuzzKid now going to duke it out with him. The AK not really suited for this kind of close quarters combat, but JuzzKid knows he can get a good spray. He's going to have to dodge that nade though. Back out towards Butchers. And he's looking for the player in Butchers as well. There's one front Butcher, one in on the B side there. Quirtz will pick it up nicely. That's his 4th for the round. He has been everywhere this round. But if you're the Shovelman, he's been nowhere. He's been so hard to find there. JuzzKid picking up Honey Badger there. Bit of a split push. It looked like a bit of a mid and B, but the B entry was a little bit slow. First one, eXile5.
Wow, and I just got those votes up once again here, ladies and gentlemen. So put your votes in for map 2 here. Nev does get first nade there onto Samson, takes him down. Nev's also pushing pretty hard here into this A bomb side. He's up onto the statue. Does have two players to the right of him. Just Kid takes him down, not mucking around here. And that was a well-timed nade indeed. Considering he's all the way over into the marketplace. Does spot up a player just around the corner. Can't pick him up, Fantasy. Fid, Steve. Wow, what happened there? Steve, did he get a collat and pick up 2 in 1 or just really quick? Last one up here is Nick. Nick's got a few to beat now. He does have scope in hand in a good position. There's one, and that was a nice shot, super quick on those reflexes. Smoke's gone down, adding a little bit of a challenge to him now, pushing up quite hard around the dumpsters over the garden bed. Here's that bomb go down at A, but he needs to find out a few players. There is just one right behind him. He's only got 2 to beat. He's in a good position as long as he keeps an eye on that statue. And they're playing a little bit of cat and mouse now. Has switched it up, does have a better weapon. And, there we go. The player's giving himself away, and I think that might be Blaze. Let's have a look at this one, ladies and gentlemen. So he's still playing cat and mouse around that statue, and if he pushes out too much further here, he might get himself in a little bit of trouble. Blaze, yes, Blaze comes up behind him, takes him down. So good patience shown there from the Shovelman. It is 1-1 now, Uber, in this map 2 of the grand.
If you're in a 1v1, I'm happy for you to try and go head to head with the guy with a scope and fountains. But if you're in a 1v2, you're trying to go head-to-head with their scope like that? No, not going to work. Good carnade there towards Nick, and he drops down very early in this one. Just Kid now as, Finn is going to try and cross. He's got the bomb in hand. If Fantasy picks up Honey Badger, might be more of an A push here. Finn has got the bomb, and he's going to just wait for that damage to wear off now. He's pushing straight in front of Cap with the bomb as well. This is really risky. Quirtz picks him up from Fountain's bomb now in front of Cap. Just Kid's got a great position to watch here. Quirtz makes it 2 there, just sitting on the Fountain. That's all he's got to do. It's the best way to hold an A push. He got there quick. He didn't get picked as he crossed. No nades towards him as well. If you can get to those baskets safely, you have an almost unassailable hold on A, unless someone can cheekily pick you from mid-shops. And right now, Shovelmen don't have the capacity to do that. Steve is too busy trying to get his way down mid-street in the first place. He's trying to get some shots towards Garage. He knows someone's waiting for him. The smoke will go up. Steve knows he needs to get up on this car, or he needs to get into mid-shots and pick the guy at Fountain. He's going to try and just poke that wall and work his way in. Real dangerous stuff here. Steve is actually fighting with shadows at the moment because he doesn't really know where his opponent is, and he's being very careful on his push into A. In the meantime, eXile5 have set up very, very nicely. Fantasy is in the bottom of that scope building there. Steve picks up Quirtz. Nicely done there, indeed, but Samson picks up Blaze just from the statue. He's just watching into that calf, and now Bomb is on statue. I don't think Finn should have pushed out so early. Nice hit fire there onto Steve. Steve is going to miss that shot, and Samson's just going to toy with him now. eXile5 converging on that statue. Shots through from Just Kid. We'll pick up Steve as he tries to work towards the bomb. Pro tip, Steve. Pro tip. If you've got a bomb carrier, rushing CAF, give him some support, or at least someone that can pick the bomb up straight away. If you're going to put the bomb guy straight out of CAF, you need to rush A. He'd lost the bomb out in front in a really open position. eXile5 had such a stranglehold on A. There was no way that the Shovelmen were going to get in there.
I just want to keep an eye on Quirtz here because that last stream we did do both of these teams one straight after the other. And if the guys from Shovelman actually watched that first game, they'd have a good idea where Quirtz is. And he did pick up 2 that last round from hiding in pretty much the same position. Here he does get out 1, taking out Nev. A lot of shots coming towards him. He does have 2 to beat, dodging around this statue. This statue is the place to, is what you need to win here. Steve takes out Samson with a lovely scope. Steve and Blaze, last 2 up once again here. Uber, and Quirt's just trying to bait him out. Let's have a bit of a switcheroo. Oh, I missed that one from Nick, unfortunately. Looked like a great shot. Nick and Steve. Steve does spot up. I think that is Quirt still dancing around there outside the cafe. Now he's got players all around him. What's he going to do here? He's just going to try and push through, get a little bit lucky. He's got 2 players, 1 from the front, 1 from the back, 2 from the front, 2 from the back. He gets taken down there by Just Kid. So, as I was saying, Uber, they need to watch, when you see teams going to try and play in a grand final, you need to watch their games. You'll pick up where they play on each maps. Clearly, that's something which Shovelmen didn't do with Quirtz.
The problem here is that, like, Quirtz reminds me of Froz right now so much it's not funny. Froz just getting up on the A statue on the defensive side, getting on the statue and just taking on the SMGs as they push him. Really nice work from him now. Juzzkid picks up Nev. Badge on the Juzzkid now, and he's a little bit low from that push. He's going to expose himself here to A as he tries to get a pick off that statue. He knows Quirtz is going to be lurking there somewhere. Badge gets himself into mid-street. Bomb is bottom of mech, and that's where it should be left if you have an unsuccessful first push across. And Badge now going to leave that one. Samson just chilling as Finn has actually picked up Nick there. Finn got himself in the top mech in there, and usually not the most recommended spot, but with Nick out of the picture, he can go there. He's happy to poke that one. Steve now, great pick on a Samson here as well. And as you can see, the guys from the Shovelmen are just controlling that A from the outside. Steve is in mid-shops. We've got Blaze who's got himself over towards Butcher now. Quirts picks up Finn though, and he's something that got to get rid of. Quirts is going to drop in front of him. That was simply a weight of numbers there. You saw that the guys on the Shovelmen were quite happy to use that mid-street. They pushed straight down it. They had a good control of any crossing that was coming out from defense spawn to those double palms. And they just got some picks inside A. Weight of numbers wins it 2-3 in favour of eXile5.
A good close game at the moment. And maybe this one will see some overtime. I'm keen. I want to see some overtime. That's all I know. And this is map 2, so if eXile5 win it, that is all over. Look at that badge here. He's got 2 players at the end. He does get taken down by Fantasy there. And that is 2 players in a matter of seconds. So it's 3 versus 5. Just Kid here, very patient, trying to see who's going to come around the backside. Probably towards Nick. Nick will have the other side covered, which he does. We can see now. Looking up, and they're all 3 pushing right in now, right into the statue area. They need to watch their back. That's where the danger's going to come from right away. Nick does take down Nev with his deagle. Samson on the Finn. Last one up, ladies and gentlemen, was Steve. Couldn't see him. He does get taken down. eXile5 really patient that time as well. They sort of flipped it on Shovel from what we've seen from Shovel the previous round. That time eXile5 really patient, getting a pick or 2, and then just went in for the kill when they were low.
Yep, this time eXile5 had mid-street and they worked over from that garage and got in nicely. Nate towards Quirts, won't be enough to take him out now, but he's not going to be as fast into A as he'd like. Samson going to push towards the front of Caff and get some shots towards Steve. Steve aggressively trying to poke that wall there at front of Mech now. We can see now Finn is in that green car. Steve wants a poke in towards A, but no one from eXile5 sitting too far up there as Nick will fall down over towards that B side if I'm not mistaken. Kid just going to do pretty much nothing as he watches that connector, and Finn is going to crouch walk his way down. So now this is the mid-street control that I'm talking about. Finn is trying to get there as well as Nev checking those mid-shops. Steve watching front of A. No, they know eXile5 are going to sit back on this one, probably use some fountain play or at least double bins. Steve now looking for a shot again. Nev in mid-shops. Finn coming over that garage wall as well, looking towards that wicker basket wall, looking for the little bit of head, just poking out. See if they can just get some shots into that one now. Nothing yet. Quirts will get a great nade, late one. I'm pretty sure it was out from that fountain, picks him up. Blaze though takes down Samson, and Steve has got to get a smoke now towards double bins. It's time for the cross. That's right, Steve gets across just. No, Quirts will pick him up as he tries to get across. Bomb is dropped down in front of Ruins now. Fantasy picks up Honey Badger as well. We can see that Quirts is getting some great shots from double bins, but the Shovelmen are on the bomb side. Nev's going to get the plant down. Blaze is going to try and go 1-1 with Quirts right now. Just Kid dropped just now. It's a 2v2. Bomb is down. Advantage now going towards the Shovelmen. We know Quirts was double bins. He's made his way towards garage wall now. Some shots towards Blaze is good. Fantasy sitting on the statue now as well. Nev's got to keep his head down. He's going to try and duke it out, but it's a 2v1 situation in favour of eXile5. Quirts getting some shots in. Not actually managing to get any damage through that bomb. Nev just popping up and down. Trying to take on 2 at once. Can he do it? No. Fantasy will pick him up there. Enough time for the defuse there. And eXile5 are going to get that one done as well. Good push into A from the Shovelmen. No, easy defuse. That's fine. Good push into A from the Shovelmen. I like what Steve did. Oh, it was a standard smoke to double bins, but Quirt's got some great smoke spam. He pretty much took the wind out of the Shovelmen's sails, forced them to rush onto that bomb side, put 2 players on the bomb side, and they were kind of just holding hands while they were playing the bomb. There was no crossfire established, there was no angles established, and all they had to do, they just got pushed on from street. Standard.
Too easy in the end there for eXile5, of course. This time we got a lot of action, a lot of nades going out, a lot of shots going out as well. Samson and Nick does take down Nev and Blaze, and that goes and makes the Shovelmen a little bit thin on this attack. Quirts respond this dumpster once again. It's worked so well for him the last few rounds. Why not do it? Steve and Finn. Well, should I say? Yes, still Steve and Finn. Steve there taking down Fantasy, and now they've got him pulled that back just a little bit. Let's try and find one of them. We do have Steve right up here. And where is he? He's sort of come down the right-hand side this time. Now they're starting to move into A just a little bit. Finn, I predict, would they have that bomb? Yes, he does. He's circling back around. There is a player just in the middle of this street. Who's going to catch him first? Steve not looking in the right direction. Finn coming, and he's just missed him as he's going to circle around. Quick sneaky pass over through the door. No shots coming out. At least that's a good sign. There is a... Just needs to watch himself here. There is Steve going to spot him. No. Sneaky Quirk still just behind this dumpster. Samson's going to pop out now and clean up after that. We can put that one down as a bait, I think. Steve's in a lot of trouble now. Heavily tagged, swaps over, grabs his AK, heading towards the spin. He's going, where's Quirk's gone? He was just here just a moment ago. Managed to dodge him. Both players up behind him now. Going to work out together. No, spreading out, trying to get those AKs. Nick takes him down with the scope.
Samson caked that one as well. He was actually like prone to ruins in general eXile5 style. Pops up, picks up one, pops up. Probably should have picked up the second, but the recall got the better of him. Luckily, Nick is just stupidly sharp on that scope. And now, let's have another attempt from the Shovelman to work in towards his A side. It looks like mid-shops is being held by Nev, but Smoke in the mid-street, obscuring any sort of shots. Honey Badger is making his way over towards that the front of Butcher as well. As you guys probably have a bit of an aerial view at the moment. I'll try and keep you guys with it. I think my stream has gone to for a bit of a bio break, but nonetheless, Finn got bomb in hand. Looks like he wants to work that B side there. And never in mid-shop. Steve as well. So here's a B push here from the guys from the Showermen. Looking for an opportunity, but no picks for them yet at all. Next five are really not making up at all. Sitting back. Opportunities they are. Quirts, you've heavily tagged up on A. Finn picks up Fantasy. He tries to push into Butcher now. And Nick knows what's happening. The nade is good. Will it be enough though? Yes, it will be. Finn goes down. And now Nick with the scope in hand is going to get some shots towards, hopefully, mid-shops, because that's where Nev has just picked up JuzzKid from. 3v3 on our hands here. Nev looking towards bottom of Mech. Trying to find a target here. Nick gets tagged a little bit. Goes down a half-health place. The mid-street, fairly exposed position there, but he does have Nev covering him from a few angles. A great nade from Badge, on towards Nick. That was really impressive, actually. Those late-round nades are very, very, very good if you can predict that well. Badger picks up Quirts as well. So Samson's last man standing. He will sit in A, and he'll get the pick, but it's going to be a B push indeed from the Shovelman. Now, Samson is aware of this, but it'll be a little bit too late to check the cross. You'll hear the bomb planting sound as well. Surely there'll be a bit of cover. Some spam under the bomb. Nothing is yielded from that at all. And Samson now, there's a deagle out in front of him, trying to push in, trying to find a target here, but he's going to struggle a little bit, I feel, now as he's just looking again. Shovelman got themselves just out of harm's way here. Nevers looking towards double palm. He's behind the car. Honey Badger's in the that spot behind the bin in the back of that B side. That's fairly standard, I feel. We'll be waiting now for an opportunity. This is like a low-risk one, that's for sure. But nice deagle there. Nevers caught with his back turn. Oh, there it is. Samson will drop down there. So Badge comes around, but eagle work there. Look, it's pretty hard. If you're in a 1v2 and someone's hiding in that corner, you're probably not going to be able to pick him up. It's a tough one for Samson. Nonetheless, 6-3, eXile5 still with a couple of rounds up their sleeve, and they're holding fairly nicely on defense so far.
Samson went in there, though. He did check that bin. He just didn't check it enough, which was unfortunate. I thought he may have pulled that round away there for the eXile5 boys. But another one back there for the Shovelmen. Steve pulling up Quirts, which has been doing a lot of danger on the A bomb site. So that's a great one. And Nev going down as well. Samson here very patient on A. JuzzKid is in a great spot here. And they've got him a little bit circled. Steve does take down Samson. 4v3, but I still like this position of JuzzKid here. He's in a great position to spot up all those players just in front of him. One nearly on A. Let's try and find that out. No, bomb is planted, just as I had thought. Badge does take down Nick. And it's all up to JuzzKid now. The man with the great spot couldn't work out anything in the end. That was well played by the Shovelmen. Really moved around as a team, got a lot of picks, managed to get the bomb down, and they did it with a lot of confidence. So they need a few more of them. It is only 4-6, but they want a few more rounds, one would think, Mitch.
Absolutely. Nades towards A here for the Shovelmen, and Finn's got the bomb in hand. Good smoke on mid-street as well. No one falling foul of the car yet. And yes, we do have a mid-shop entry by Nevers. He's going to have to duke it out with JuzzKid here, 1-for-1. Can he do it? He's got an AK in hand, a bit of hip fire. Will it be enough? No, not quite. The deagle's out now as well. So much straight towards mid-shops. Picks up Steve in the meantime, though. Nevers still in this 1v1. Protracted engagement if I've ever seen one, but JuzzKid is a little bit too sharp on that deagle. 5v3 now. And JuzzKid takes a moment to catch his breath, as I do with mine. Good control for eXile5 over the map at this stage, except the one person pushing into B here. And Fantasy's on the job here, but Honey Badger's got himself into that Butcher shot, and he's going to try and make some pokes at least over towards double palm. He's not going to see anyone yet, but he can hear a movement in that connector. Honey Badger will be looking for an entry here. Samson sitting over at the fountain. We can see JuzzKid still in mid-shops. I'm surprised he hasn't gone for that AK over there, but he wants to... Yeah, he's going to get pushed, though. He kind of knows this, I feel. He's prone himself. Nice work. Blaze just gets decimated there. Nothing he could do. JuzzKid set up nicely for that one. And now only two players left in hand, the Shovelmen have really got to make a good engagement. Finn giving away his position there and then makes a mistake by going across the top of that bench, makes an easy target of himself to the double bins player. Doesn't drop though, surprisingly enough, but Nick will take down Honey Badger as he's just sniffing around that B side. Nick with the second, surgical precision, and that's what I expect from the man. It's 7-4, eXile5 still with 3 in the pocket.
Just keeping that advantage for themselves, aren't they, eXile5, which is it's what you need to do. It's not about winning by a large margin, it's just about winning the game. And just those few rounds ahead, they're keeping at the moment. Samson Fantasy going a little bit big there. They're down at 2 players already, the Shovelmen. What's going on this round? Samson takes down Finn. Last one up, ladies and gentlemen, is Steve. He's only got a scope in hand. He needs to do a little bit better than that if he wants to try and pull this one back for his teammates. Though we haven't seen, here we go, is that Quirtz on that bin. He's just teasing him a little bit. Oh, what a shot coming out there from Steve. Couldn't follow through though. He gets taken down. And we yet to see, we've seen a few 1v4, 1v5 situations. We yet to see one of these boys come up, Uber, and get that super clutch we want in a grand final.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll see that there, but nonetheless, Nev tagged heavily as he crosses towards front A, but he is in there and he's on the statue, looking for the push there, gets the better of Quirtz in the 1v1, does see the scope poke over that double palm wall there, and Nick picked up Steve. That's what he did there. So never lucky to get away alive. He does have a smoke. Okay, he's going to throw that one there and get a quick entry here. He's still going to have to deal with the guy double beans, and Samson's a little bit too sharp for him there. The AK-47 bullets finding their marks there. Good rotation from Juzzkid now. A late push out of B lets him pick up Badger. Badger pushed quite early and went straight towards that bin. And Juzzkid just sneaking out to pick him up from behind there. Nice work from Samson inside A. Blaze hits the deck. Last one is Finn. He's got the bomb. He's sitting in emo corner. Crossing now. Good straight jump, but not quite enough on those shots there. Hip fire is really all he could have relied on there. And Nick is a good deagler. That's to say the least. Nick is probably one of the best deaglers I've seen now, and he's doing nicely with that one indeed. Almost gamer deagle level, ladies and gentlemen. But 9-4 now, 5 rounds. eXile5 starting to extend that lead a little bit. They're getting quite comfortable here, Cyanide.
He is, and the question is, can the Shovelmen pull this back and get it to a much closer score? Obviously, they need to win this one. If they don't, eXile5 will be the grand finalist and the champions for CGI this season. And a lot of Shovelmen going down rapid succession. Juzzkid doing good work there. Nick coming through with the deagle. There's that deagle work you were talking about. He does get taken down by Blaze. Blaze is last one up. He's only got 2 to beat, so this is more than possible. There is a player just around to his left. What's he going to do? Oh, he gives his position away. And now he's running for it back inside the building. Blaze going to reload, rethink, and recompose himself. Not enough. Quirtz comes in with a little bit of support, takes him down. So, look, I thought Blaze might be able to produce something there. eXile5, they just switched on tonight. Absolutely switched on, not letting anything get past them.
Yeah, Quirtz has a fantastic A-hold. He seems so comfortable on that one, and he's just repelling all attackers here. It's a slower push here, I think, from the Shovelmen. Nev had stopped to throw a few nades there, so he's going to have to wait them out. He's going to go mid-shops. He's about a third nade onto the mid-street. We'll pick him up. The car bomb does blow up, and Juzzkid now free to move into mid-shops unopposed. Nick will also be backing him up here as well. So eXile5 trying to control the A site from side. Steve will pick up Quirtz. That's fairly reasonable to expect that. But Samson now has picked up Steve, but shots from behind. We got the rotate in from the Honey Badger. Yes, it was Blaze, I think, that was there, but he got picked up. Finn, always top mech Finn. Why? That's probably the 3rd or 4th round I've seen him go there. It's not good if you spend too long up there. He got picked off really, really easily there. So, I mean, you might get away with doing that against CGO players, but against eXile5, mate, they will pick you off real quick. Halftime comes up, Cyanide, and 11-4 is the score. And eXile5 just really, really strong in that one. And the Shovelmen, you know, I've got to hand it to him. If you told me that, that the Blaze and Honey Badger, sort of guys like that, no offense to them at all, but if you told me that they'd be playing at this level a year ago, I would have been quite surprised to hear that. So these guys, are huge improvements now, but they've got to lift, they've got to dig deep here, and they've really got to turn up in this second half because it's do or die for them right now.
That's right. Quick look at these halftime scores. We do have Nick on 17-7, Quirtz on 15-8. Definitely solved these lag problems by the looks of it. Samson 11-8, a little bit quiet, but he's pulled out a few good rounds. Juzzkid 11-7, Fantasy 11-8. What about those quick shovel scores there, Uber, while we're getting into this round?
Yep, Steve 13-12, Patch 12-12, Finn 5-14, Blaze 5-12, Nev 3-15, and there's the problem right there, ladies and gentlemen. 5-14, no. That's not going to be enough to do it. They're just not performing right now. Badger, though, picks up Samson. Juzzkid sets himself up on that garage wall, controlling A from the outside. That's how you do it. Just can see someone running across there towards the wicker basket. Just Kid's got an SMG, can't contest right now. Who go for the nerdy? That's an 8.5. He's done that a few times before now, and he's going to force that player back. Now Just Kid might have some freedom. So that was Finney through the nade towards, and Finn's still going to sit tight there over at the fountain. Honey Badger's still the only man with a frag for this round, and we can see that the Shovelmen are awaiting a push in towards A, but eXile5 have kind of left it open here. They could go where they please. Fantasy dodging the shots as he comes across, and he sees the head towards the fountain, but he just stays a little bit too long in front of Calf. Badger picks up Just Kid as well. So it was a good concentrated push from eXile5, but got completely smashed there by good defense. And that is what happens when you try to poke the wicker basket wall. Finn will pick up Nick there, and a good A-hold there. I would have almost recommended a big rotation or a stronger presence, at least through Butcher for eXile5, but I'm sure they'll be recalculating this round.
Yeah, they're not the type of team to let a couple of easy rounds go, or not learn from their mistakes, should I say, is pretty more accurate. But my goodness, Steve, Nev, Steve, Badge, Steve, that is, wow.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. Well, that's what you put. If you put Steve on glitch wall, he's probably going to frag your whole team if you don't smoke the street properly. That's an amateur error from eXile5. They got to smoke that glitch wall really, really well. That was a bit better. This round, some better smokes there. Steve will still go for some shots. He's going to come straight over the front of it, and Blaze will join him now. Heavy nades coming through. Steve wants to come straight up the street. He's looking confident. Coets picks up Finn, but Nev and Steve add their own frags there as well. Nev picks up Sanson. Nev improving over the course of this game, last few rounds especially, but Nick will pick him up in response. A 2v3 situation. Nick trying to go cheeky on towards that statue, and Steve is there waiting with that scope. Nice work, Steve. Again, 3 down. That's 2 in a row from him. He's going nuts, and I mean, he's pushing up the street. I mean, eXile5 are trying to smoke it up as well as they can, but Steve is hungry for frags, and he is dominating.
With Steve, I'm going to stick with Steve just again this round and see what he can do, because he's had 6-7 frags in the last 2 rounds. What can he do? He's changing it up just a little bit here. Going to be a little slower, and that's what you need to do. Keep eXile5 guessing. There we go. There's one. And he's having a time of his life right now here, ladies and gentlemen. They are down a little bit, only by 4 rounds. Fantasy does put an end to his demoralising last few rounds against eXile5. Just smashing him, but at least he can take a breather now, get his thoughts back together. Maybe he should have jumped over that wall and kept going. Nev here, taking up the Quirt spot just on the opposite side of A. Fantasy with the bomb. So we've got Fantasy, Quirts, Nick taking on Nev, Finn, and Badge. Nice and slow. We do have... I have lost him. It is Nick just outside this statue. And being as focused as you like, smoking up that bin, blocking off all vision. They want to get into this A, plant that bomb. And he's showing a lot of patience here. Is that someone moving? Ooh. It was someone moving. Unfortunately, I think we just missed that, down to 2. One coming around from the back out near that garage. With that deagle work from Nick once again. And wow. So I'm not too sure if eXile5 learnt from the previous 2 rounds, or because Shovelmen just changed up a little bit of what they were doing, that let eXile5 back in, and they didn't waste an opportunity at all there, Uber.
It's a game of one-upmanship between Nick and Steve right now. Samson first up for him. He's going to take down Finn with a well-placed nade towards those double palms down. Look at the push towards the street by the Shovelman here. Justkid's got himself into mid-shops. He will pick up Steve there. Crucial frag there. He knows Steve's been trying to aggressively push into mid-shops, and he's reacting responsibly there, or appropriately, should I say. Nev with the double, though, in mid-street. Bomb is down. Justkid now going head-to-head with him. Badger wants his blood. He will get it as he jumps across the doorway now. A 2v1. Samson, last man standing. Bomb is dropped in front of A. Samson. A little bit exposed here as he pushes into mid-shops. He's looking for Honey Badger here, I think, as he goes down, but he's not looking in the right direction. Will he pick him up? Yes, good drag across the door frame to pick him up. Nevers, Samson, 1v1. Bomb front of A now, but Nevers pushing out as well. It's going to be an SMG first SMG fight here. We can see Nevs putting some shots over towards that car. Samson goes down towards Harville. Samson wants to poke that one. Nev's going to throw a nade up here just for a bit of contingency in case he gets pushed here by Samson.
Oh, he did it!
Nev gets it done. Very, very clever there. Just waiting for Samson to push. In fact, maybe expecting that he wouldn't, straight towards the car. That's how it's done. The eXile5 save nade strat. That's a very good point. eXile5 often have those really late nades. Nev just replicated that to perfection.
Using their tactics against them. But eXile5 came out pretty strong last round, and I thought they were learning from their previous few rounds of mistakes. But Shovelmen just holding it together long enough. J-Kid here does hear a few footsteps just outside the door, and Samson pulling up Badge. There is still a danger man there. The fight's going on. Samson does get taken down by Blaze. J-Kid hunting down him, and he does find Blaze. So there is 2 left. Now, we've got Finn and Steve. Steve does go down. Last one up is Finn. Finn's just going to sit all the way back here, show a lot of patience on A. He just needs to stay in there. Don't go poking out, and that's what happens when you do. Maybe a little bit more patience. Would have been tough to win the round, but he would have had more of a chance than what we've just seen. 13-8 Uber. Wow, what's going on?
In those situations, a smoke is just as good as a normal grenade if you're throwing it right at your enemy. You force them to break cover and get out of the smoke because you might not be able to see them, but they can't take shots from the cover of that smoke either. They can't stick through it. Well played by Nick. Forced the movement. He got up on statue, had the advantage. Now, Nick prone in mid-street, trying to deal with Steve there. He's really exposed to Nick, man. He can't stay for too long here. Just wants to push on to Steve as well, but Nick will pick him up now. Crucial scope down. Blaze now sitting towards flower beds, waiting for the push, and Nev as well, sitting front of Cap there as Finn puts a cheeky nade on towards the Just Kid push. Fantasy now going to bolster that position as he moves in towards that garage as well. Finn sitting and watching. Nevers also slow defense here. Nerdy nade from Quirts. That's a fairly standard one though. That was a really heavy watch towards Calf here from the Shovelman. A little bit predictable if I'll say so. But Honey Badger now rotating out through that B side has just picked up Samson. He's going to get himself onto that garage wall, onto that bin wall, should I say. Quirts will drop from him as well. Great picks from him. Blaze picks up Fantasy. Good play from Honey Badger as well. He was the only one that was really working B, and he just poked up, got a shot, then moved back, then repositioned, then did the very same thing. The problem with trying to hold mid-street is, if you have a player that's running unchecked at B, you can never turn your back on them. You can't just focus on trying to enter into A. Take it away.
Just so much happening here. Shovelmen aren't going down. Just Kid comes up, pulls up one on the A bomb site. Nev takes him down. And that's where they're pushing here, ladies and gentlemen. Samson takes down Nev. Not before Nev got Just Kidding, of course. So 2v4. We got Badge and Blaze. Last one up. Nick does spot up. There we go. This should be 2 easy picks for Nick. He's a little bit off with his sniping right now, but we want to stick with him. I think he can do this. Samson is there for support in case anyone pokes. Nick's going to back off, let his teammates get in there and have a crack. Blaze poking his head over the side. Quirts does take down Badge. Last one up is Blaze, and he's got a whole team to beat now. He's going to be tough coming around here. Looking into this. There we go. Gets taken down by Quirts. 14-9. And just when I was starting to think to myself that, you know, we could have a third map here. Now we look at the scores being 14-9. It starts seeming a little bit tricky for the Shovelmen.
Nick is too big. He's too big. It doesn't matter what position you put him in. He's always got an answer. Smoke towards front A. Fantasy gets in first, though. Samson will eat the nade. That's his fault for being slow. Fantasy gets in and takes down the push there. Fantasy has stopped the deep A hold that so often the Shovelmen are able to establish. Fantasy with a double on towards Finn. Blaze now getting a push as well. Fantasy makes it a 3 down with a deagle. He's looking for another kill. Surely he's going to get taken out from garage wall. But now Blaze Badger is trying to push in over. He picks up a double now. Shots coming from front of A. Quest trying to get in there. Shots out from mid shops as well. But Badger is going to get himself into cap. He's going to wait for the push now as well. It's a 2v2. Honey Badger turned that around on a 10-cent piece. I swear. Steve still has a scope in hand. Very crucially here, he's going to make his way towards double palms. He's going to get himself set up. Picks towards bins if he needs to. Picks towards front of Calf if that is required. He's going to sit in the brown car and he's going to wait for the push here. He can. Quirts is sitting inside the cafe. He's going to wait for the push across the front of him. Badger is in the same cafe as well. Sooner or later, one of them is going to move. One of them is going to give away their position. And, well, let's just say the proverbial is going to hit the fan. I don't really know how that one's going to work out. Just Kid now making a tentative push out from that short B. Now he's going to go back as well. He needs to pick up the bomb before he goes out there. That's exactly what was being watched before. Quirts picks up Badger now from Cap. He made the first move and he is rewarded with that kill. Steve now is stuck. He's going to get flanked here as well. Quirts is going to come around towards the garage wall. He's looking towards mid shops. Just has the cover as he goes around towards B. It's going to force Steve to rotate out, and that is what Quirts is waiting for. Steve now towards brown car. A couple shots coming out from mid shops there. Tries to fling and a scope shot as well. Doesn't connect now. Can hear the bomb being planted. Steve ducks back into that alcove there near the spawn. He knows it was a fake. Going to get tagged as he jumps across. That was very, very classy footwork, but not enough to get the frag. There we go. Time limit reached, and that round will go in favour of the Shovelmen. So very, very well played there, I think, them to hold that one. Jeez, it was getting tight, though.
Steve was lucky, I think. he managed to do the right things at the right time. Get himself in a bit of cover, chew up that clock. But it was close. J-Kid pulling out Nev, first blood there with the nade shot right over the top, as we always see on this map. You've got to watch those nades. You can't push too hard, but A lot of shots going out there from J-Kid, even switching over to his Deagle. Fantasy does take down Blaze. J-Kid with the bomb here. There's a few players back over towards the bin. If he needs to watch out just to his right-hand side here. Shots do come out. He is getting tagged up a little bit. Oh, he needs to move away. Can't shoot through that much concrete. Steve and Badge pulling up Samson and Fantasy. 3 plays 3. 3 plays 2 now here. Uber with Badge, Steve taking on Quirts, Nick and J-Kid. Let's switch this around. Nick with this Deagle is preparing to pull out some awesome work here. Switches over.
Quirts.
Guess the plus 10.
What.
Wow. Where was that, Nate? Where was it?
I'm all about the noosh. I'm all about the noosh right now. That was really, really nice finish from Quirts. The old eXile5 late name strat. Like, they have a few key players that just, it's really, really crisp, good communication. A comm is called out, a nade is thrown. That's how it works for them now. 15-10. Match point. CGi season 10 point, ladies and gentlemen. Nick going to go in towards Cap, but Nev picks up Samson early on. He sees a jump across. Nick can see the push there, but he's not able to pick anyone up now. He's going to look towards Binton. See nothing. He's going to get taken out by Blaze as well. Nev is going to be watching the A push as well. Blaze with his second Juzzkid trying to come in over the statue, but just doesn't have enough oomph there. And Blaze will drop back towards double palms there. Clever that he did, because the nade comes in not long after. And Fantasy is trying to make his way across. He sees some shots coming from that wicker basket. He knows, the Fantasy man, that there'll be one waiting at double bins as well. Steve picks up Quirts. This is what happens when you take the wind out of eXile5 sails. One left. That's Fantasy. What can he do? Not a lot. Neville ping him in the back of the head from behind there to make it 15-11. Shovel showing some signs of life here at the very death of this game. Can they bring it to overtime, Steve?
I would love to see some overtime. I've said that a couple of times this evening, and Shovelmen have had a couple of good rounds stuck together, but I just don't know if they can do it. I think this one might be it. J-Kid going in hard here, though. He's got a lot of Shovelmen. Does take out Fun. Does take out 2. No, Nev takes down him. Samson over taking down Badge. Fantasy over on Finn. And we do have Nick here with the scope offering a little bit of support. Last 2 up, we do have Nev. Nev goes and pushes his head out a little bit too much. Blaze over near double palms, and he's got a lot of eXile5 players. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. eXile5 CGi. Season 10 for the CGi boys do come out the winners.
Yeah, fantastic work from eXile5. You can't really fault their play from start to finish of that game. It was really, really impressive, especially on Crash as well, even though they had a little bit of trouble with it in the early stages. You can attribute some of that to Quirts as well, but it's safe to say that eXile5 are one of the most well-established esports dynasties in Australia. And these guys, and they really deserve this as well, they have been not only playing in this season, but pretty much the last 10 before it, but they've also been running them, they've been coordinating as well. And eXile5 are undoubtedly one of the most consistent, well-drilled and strong-performing teams that we've seen sort of in the last couple of years. And again, they show us the goods here. But I'm really impressed with the Shovelmen as well. Some fairly new faces in there, some that are coming up from CGM, some even from CGA, into that lineup, showing some real promise as well. And hopefully they'll get a chance to continue improving now as we do see some more Call of Duty being played on Cybergamer. But what a fantastic game it was Cyanide as well. I mean, and Nick was on form, Blitz was on form. We saw Fantasy picking up his doubles and triples where he had to there. This is eXile5, and this is what we expect from them as well. Such an incredible amount of synergy. Those late nades that they're holding, really able to turn the tables of 2v2s or 3v3s as you go 30 seconds to 45 to a minute into that round. So you really can't fault them for that. It was fantastic play. I've got to hand it to Steve. I like the way the Shovelmen tried to use that mid street. Steve was very confident, almost code hook level confident there as he came over that glitch wall a few times when it was smoked up by eXile5 to try and get those picks. And his rotations were fairly good. I like the work as well from Honey Badger coming through from the short B push, getting some picks on mid street because he knew that eXile5 were trying to just park their tent in mid-street. Juzzkid would take control of mid-shops. We'd see Nick try and get in there in the middle of mid-street. The problem with that strat was, though, is that if you have a player that's running rampant over at the short B or Butcher, you can be dismantled one by one. And that's what we saw a few times. I think, if the Shovelmen sort of, their first half was not good. We saw, some 5 for 13, sort of 3 for 15 sort of score lines. You can't have that if you're going to want to beat a team with the caliber of eXile5.
eXile5 didn't waste too many chances. There was a couple of rounds where they didn't play at the best. They sort of gave Shovelmen a little bit of inspiration that they might be able to come up and do something, and then they learned from it and they shut them down straight away. And they've been on top now for how many years? We know that they won CGPL last season, and they just keep going and going and going. And they're a team like, I think we mentioned it before the stream, as well, Uber, that they're a team that not just are they successful, but they're one of those teams who the core members of the team have been together for so long. So they've just got so much confidence in each other. I think even if they were down a few rounds, they would have pulled that back, no problems. But we can't take anything away from the Shovel Men. Like you said, a lot of CGA players in there this season. They made the grand final of CGI, and that's nothing to shun at. They've gone through the whole season. They've played well. Last time they met, I think we had a look on CG. I think it was 16-4, eXile5's way. They did better than that tonight. So that just goes to show the Shovelmen, or ex-Avant-Garde, they're constantly improving and they're working hard for each other. So not the winners tonight, but I don't think they're the losers either, especially when we look at their progression over the last few months with this season and constantly getting better and better.
No, you're dead right, and I think the way they pushed eXile5 tonight is promising for them in the future. And speaking of that, guys, as well, I may have alluded to before this cast that it might sort of be winding up, sort of COD stuff at Cybergamer, but Quirts has actually informed me that things are still happening. In fact, on the 20th of July, we're going to be having our Sunday School one-day competition, which should be a little bit of fun as well. It's going to be a 16-team round robin. It's going to be $500 for first place. So get on to Nick or Quirts about that one as well and get your team entered. Should be great. We might even see if we can check out some of that as well. And to follow that as well, we may see another sponsored ladder. We may see some more leagues as well. Quirts has alluded heavily to that. And I think the outlook is positive. So look, I mean, we've been around for 7 years. I know my casting started with CoD4, and it's probably why it's my pleasure to be back here bringing you this game. And I hope a few more in the future as well. But we've been here 7 years and we're still going strong. And that's to you guys out there, the players, the people that support the streams, the people that post troll stuff on the forums. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. All of you guys getting involved and making this possible. We need the player base to run this, and you guys have continued to turn up season after season. Well, and I'm sure that guys like Quirts are going to continue running stuff. I
think just on that, Uber, if we have a look at the history, and I know last season the good guys at SYF managed to do a lot of cover a lot of games for CoD4, and I think CoD4 has been one of those games where not just is it popular this late, and I don't even understand how the game's still going. I think it's got all the core fundamentals a competitive game needs, but it always gets so many good viewers and loyal viewers, and even tonight we nearly got to 100 viewers, and it's tough to see a game over that length of time still be so consistent with the community coming out and showing support. So I've got no idea what's happening next season, just like yourself, Uber. But let's hope Samsung can do another ODC in between now and next season. That would be great. And next season shaping up, maybe not as big. We've seen last season to this season numbers drop a fair amount, but the core players and the loyal teams and the supporters and the viewers, they're all there. They love this game. We want to see more of this game, Uber.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're dead right. So, look, we won't drag it on for too much longer, guys. Do check the forums. Check out what's going on with the COD stuff at Cybergamer. Can guarantee you it's still happening. Get in touch with Quirts or Nick if you're not sure over on eXile5. You can hit me up as well. Probably easiest way to contact me is on Twitter at UberShouts. And you can ask me those questions there, and I'm also happy to discuss that stuff with you. But look, from myself and the rest of us here at Team Down TV, it has been a distinct pleasure to join you guys here and bringing this game to the interwebs. eXile5 just a little bit too good over the Shovelmen this time, and they will be crowned CGI Season 10 champions. And as we said already a few times, can't take anything away from either of these teams. It was a fantastic match. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to go. So on behalf of myself and the team here at Team Down TV, good night, ladies and gentlemen, and keep those frags coming.